So Gretchen Carlson was our dinner speaker. Of course, we booked her months ago, never imagining that Tuesday, before she's in Cedar Rapids, she would be accepting, Time Magazine's most influential in the world.
Right.
Great timing to have her. And then Laura Ling, who was captured in North Korea, which, as we all sadly are watching, just, a tense North Korea right now. Her perspective right now, I mean, the timing of some of these speakers was really great.
Unbelievable. And Laura, well, now that I think about it, her humanity was just out there. What a lovely person, inside and out, and to talk from her heart about that experience, and in this day and age saying, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to ever see my family again. We never go through that, and to have her deal with that in a very real way, and then to be able to come back and talk about it, to me, she was phenomenal.
She was amazing. And I keep quoting Carrie Lorenz. For those of you who weren't there, Carrie is the first female F-14 Tomcat fighter pilot. Carrie talked about, fearless leadership. I mean, imagine she's flying, goes from 0 to 250 miles an hour in under 2 seconds. I mean, this is a fearless person landing on aircraft carriers, pitching up and down in the middle of nowhere in the pitch dark. So she's a pretty courageous and brave gal. But she pointed out to us that the average age on one of those aircraft carriers, on which she's landing her plane, the average age is 19 and a half.
Right.
And the turnover is it's 5,000 people, and the turnover is like 50% every 9 months.
Yes.
So you're getting new 19 and a half year olds that have to somehow get you up and down, onto this aircraft carrier. And her leadership lesson out of that, which was I take with me now every day, is, the only way that is possible with that kind of inexperience and turnover is that they have one mission and one mission only, and that is the safe launch and recovery of aircraft. Period, end of story. So she said, if you're on that ship and you're doing anything else that doesn't contribute to that goal and that mission, you got to question what you're doing. And I think that is such a great lesson, and it's one I can get my simple head around because it's one goal. And but I think it really does speak to this, the success you can have when your team is united with one very simple goal.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So she was my big takeaway.
Yeah. Well, and I loved Dr. Steve Robbins because he talked about how the fact that individuals are wired to belong, to be insiders versus outsiders, and that when you get into an organization, you really need to think about how do you make your entire organization inclusive, because if you don't do that and people come in and they feel as though they're outsiders, there's all this noise in their mind that impacts their ability to be successful and to focus on getting the job done. So to me, that was like the big aha, because if you think about it, so many organizations focus on bringing diversity into their organization, but they don't have the systems and the policies and everything in place, and they're unsuccessful. And what he says is you got to do it the exact opposite. Get everything in place first, and then go out and get your diversity, which I thought that was the big aha to me.
It was.
Because when you think about what
Inclusion
we do
before diversity.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so when you think about what we as IWLC have been doing, all along we've been focusing on individuals and what they're doing up until the last couple of years. And 5 years ago when we started the CEO Forum, which was the strategic look about how do you create inclusive cultures. And frankly, once again, we were ahead of our time.
You were ahead of your time.
Because, what we've learned is we've got to be helping those organizations create the places where people want to be, and then they'll attract the people to stay there.
Mm-hmm. he also talked about something I was quoting all weekend too, and I'll probably not get it completely right, but the ancient brain versus the modern brain.
Yes.
And how we're totally hardwired with our ancient brain, which we use 80 to 85% of the time, he
Right.
said, and we don't really know it. We're wired to notice differences because when you're, on the tundra or out there in the open,
Right.
you need to be in your tribe to stay safe. Because
Right.
if you see someone who doesn't look like you had 3 questions. Is it gonna eat me? Can I eat it? And can I mate with it?
Right.
Those were the 3 very simple questions that our ancient brains would have asked.
Right.
So it's out of survival that we notice people who look differently than
Correct.
us. But our modern brain has the ability to sort of walk those steps in between and reason
Right.
better.
Right.
But we don't, sometimes we just continue to use that ancient brain
Right.
when we need to engage
Right.
the modern brain a little bit more. So it's basically saying it's okay and acknowledge that that's completely normal, but it's kind of what you do with it, with your modern brain that makes us different and better.
Right, right. As he said, it's how do you respond to your ancient brain that makes the difference between good decisions and bad decisions, which I thought was really interesting because your reflex is your ancient brain.
Yes, yeah.
And then if you pause and you evaluate it a little bit, it may be 100% right. There's certain things, like he said, walking. You want to use your ancient brain to walk because you'd look pretty stupid if every time you were going to take a step, you paused.
You had to think about it. Yeah.
Right. But some of the other things, like when you think about count to 10 before you say what's on your mind, is a good thing for many of us.
Maybe we should put that sign up at IWLC.
Yes. Count to 10.
We need a filter. Maybe
Yes.
we should get our filters.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So anyway,
It's a good
great
one.
conference. Everything was wonderful. Tiffany's team that planned the conference did an outstanding job. We had our anniversary dinner. It was lovely.
It was amazing.
We
Everything was
we had people. We had international people in. I haven't taken the count yet of how many states were represented, but far more than we've had in the past, because we had people in from Arkansas and Oklahoma and places that I know
Florida.
I have never, Florida's been a lot, but I'm just saying some states we've never had before,
Wow.
So this is fantastic.
Well, and the good news we shared with everybody at the end is that Rockwell Collins has signed up already to be our presenting sponsor for 2018.
Yay!
Yay! As we look ahead to next year, which I think it's April 26th again, it's that Thursday, whatever that last Thursday in April is. We gotta have our quick calendar people check, but I think that's about when it is. And it's our one-day conference, so get that on your calendars already. It's a little less, commitment in terms of time and, finances too. It's
Right.
a less expensive conference for individuals, but
But powerful nonetheless.
really powerful. Yeah, so we'll start planning ahead to
Absolutely.
2018. And you have something shiny on today, I
Yes.
see.
Thank you, Tiffany and our board. They gave me this fantastic IWLC 10-year brooch to go along with my collection. Many of you know that I call myself the poor woman's Madeline Albright, and so
Madeline
here I-
does not have one of those.
Madeline does not.
Does not.
And if she came near me, I'd tackle her.
There you have it. We want to make sure the cameras are rolling for that.
All righty, take care.
Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you.